Cancer changes everything. My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was 12 years old. When I found out, a rush of emotions flooded through my mind. I felt shock, sadness, anger. Most of all, I felt fear. Fear that I could lose her, that I wouldn't be able to see her every day, that I couldn't tell her how much I love her. I don't think I fully realized then how much my mom's breast cancer diagnosis affected my life and how I see my mom. Now that I'm 16 and my mom has been cancer-free for almost 4 years, I wanted to explore my own feelings that I couldn't comprehend when I was younger and try to understand how my mom felt when she was going through her treatment. When my mom told my brothers and me that she had breast cancer, I don't think I fully understood what that meant. At age 12, I didn't really know what cancer was. I knew my grandpa had had it. I knew that it could kill people, but I never really took in the fact that it could kill my mom. I thought my mom was invincible. Up until then, I had no doubt that my mom would be a constant in my life, always there for me. Suddenly, I faced the very real possibility that I could lose her.
Telling you and your brothers that I had breast cancer was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Looking back on it, I didn't want you to know how scared I really was. When I finally gathered up the courage to tell you, I completely broke down in tears. I wish I could have told you in a calmer, more reassuring voice, like I usually do as a mom, but in that situation, there's just no easy way to tell your kids.
A lot of my memories of this time are foggy. Maybe that's my way of dealing with a difficult time. One thing I will never forget was my mom shaving her head before starting chemotherapy. Believe it or not, I never actually saw her bald. I remember she always wore a wig or a hat or a scarf and a nightcap to bed. I don't think she wanted us to see her without any hair. When I was 12, I didn't realize how big this change was for my mom. Without hair, it becomes a symbol of sickness. I now see how much courage my mom had. I wanted to know why my mom chose to shave her hair before it fell out.
I remember being given the choice to shave my head or wait for my hair to fall out in clumps. I decided to shave my head because it made me feel better to lose my hair on my terms. I felt like I could control at least one aspect of this cancer diagnosis.
Through 4 months of chemotherapy, families in our community brought us meals. Back then I saw it as just another meal, but now I realize how much more meaning those meals held. Each family labored over each meal with love, just because we were going through a difficult time. Looking back, I now have a much better understanding of how important it is to surround yourself with good friends who will help you in your time of need. And, in turn, how important it is to help others when they need it. I never really realized how much of an impact that a small act of kindness can have on someone.
I really underestimated the power of other people's kindness and allowing that kindness into your life to give you support. Those meals sort of became a light every time that there was darkness.
I remember one specific moment when it really hit me that my mom had breast cancer. It was the first day of 7th grade, and I had to have a syllabus signed. My mom had scheduled her mastectomy for that day, and I had to explain to my teacher that I couldn't get it signed. The teacher asked why, and I said she had cancer. I distinctly remember my eyes welling up, and I could barely keep my tears from falling. It was the first time I had cried about my mom's cancer since her diagnosis. Up until then, looking back on it, she had worked really hard to keep our lives as normal as possible.
I felt like with the help of friends and family, you and your brother's lives were largely able to go on as normal. But as I was in the hospital, I realized that the best helpers in the world couldn't make up for the fact that I wasn't there for you on the first day of school like I had been in every other year before that. And that was really hard on me, just as it was hard on you.
I had always taken my mom for granted before she was diagnosed. I had never thought of a life without her in it, never even thought of it as a possibility. A lot of girls go through their teenage years thinking their moms are against them. If there is one message that I would love to share with other kids going through this, it's to make sure your mom knows how much you love her, each and every day. Cancer definitely changes everything, but for me, it gave me a greater appreciation for everything my mom does for me. Thanks for listening. I'm Katie Wilhem. To find more stories like this, go to openorchardproductions.org.